Friede wird besungen, besprochen.
Peace is sung about, spoken about, negotiated, and sadly often broken again. But still, the cry of humanity doesn't fade. Humanity longs for peace. Peace and justice must not remain a mere dream of mankind. There is a way. But how can we make it reality together? Who can give evidence on how this peace becomes reality in practice? Ivo Sasek, founder of the Organic Christ Generation, OCG, as well as KLATV, AZK, and much more, together with his international Organic Christ Generation team, have discovered a secret together with thousands of people from different backgrounds on how true world peace is practiced, collectively starting in the smallest things.
Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to this documentary about the OCG, an international family and peace movement, which has proven for years that peace and harmony in practice is possible to achieve. After this intro, you are surely interested in what this mystery is that makes us achieve this world peace that lasts. In the following, different OCG co-workers share about this discovered mystery. So, stay tuned, it's gonna be exciting. First, we find that the world peace at large is only possible on the basis of a solid life foundation. Günther will report about that.
Evaluation and visitors' days. Hi. It is very much on my heart for every human to become stable again and receive a foundation in his life again. For world peace on the big scale really begins with each and every one personally, where I learn to divinely overcome the discord in my life. This is the biggest step to world peace and world change. I have experienced it so often in my life, also after burnout, that there's a way out from any personal crisis. For this reason, we offer the service of visitors' days and evaluation weekends as basically a kickstart. They focus on experiencing this power of peace and to practically find the applications in your own lives. In these evaluation days, the participants are accompanied by people who have lived this change for several years and thus can authentically assist with help for self-help.
Hi, I'm Daniela. Last year I really had an imbalance in my life. I had worries because of money, my job, health, and much more. I went to an evaluation and I got much closer to the Lord and deeper. It was like a liberation. It really was one. My problems were not gone, but my whole life changed to the positive. I was connected to God and it was so nice. I really recognized the next step in my life and everything was much more free than before.
Hi, I'm David. Through evaluation, I realized how God directs my life and I understood that He already did it. In this trust, I was able to let go of my ego trip and understand what it means to be part of the organism. Now I can experience the Lord directly live in me, around me, and in every human being. If your life foundation is stable again and you can keep the peace and follow it, I tell you, this is the coolest thing on earth. Because true peace is a power, a creative effect you sense. It is not us who carry it, but it carries us. I tell you, winning the jackpot is dust compared to it. And I honestly mean that. If you're interested, you may freely make use of this service free of charge. We're looking forward to seeing you.
Thousands of people have experienced the power of change in their own lives through evaluation and gained new courage. They recognize how they can keep and multiply this peace and the life collectively. In the next part, we'll hear about not just the personal, but the collective training of keeping this peace in practice.
Organism in practice.
You may ask, what is the difference of the Organic Christ Generation compared to other peace movements? An important difference is that we are all reliable, committed.
We are not only committed in collective works and projects, yes, of course, there too. How otherwise could we move so much with OCG and KLA-TV if it wasn't for faithful, accountable and volunteering co-workers? But first and foremost, we have become accountable to this divinely acting peace, this power, this life which navigates us all, personally and as a whole, which completes us as an organism, so to say. Our basis project days are a wonderful training field for that. Whole teams come together to train being an organism in practice in current projects and works. Because there truly is no world peace if we don't learn how to manage the basis of our lives. But it takes everybody to achieve this.
In our practical work together, we experience again and again that we only reach fullness together if every single person steps out and learns to trust the working of God in themselves.
Practically speaking, this means whenever we do not dare to share our impulses or the effects in us with the organism, the team comes to halt and a weight is in our midst.
In such moments, we stand still and lay everything aside. We speak openly and courageously about why we have lost this godly, effective peace and joy. We speak constructively to one another and listen to each other. We speak openly, courageously and believing about what moves us, and this way we are changing lastingly.
By recognizing together where the pain point is, we experience right away how the joy, the God in life, and thus the inspired feeling returns. We train that over and over and reach an organism suitability together. We experience how things really begin to flow through this on this common level, and thus we reach goals over and over again in very short times. This is so exciting for everyone, not only because we have reached the practical goals, but at the same time we have experienced inner change. This is very contagious, exciting and awakening. It's sure worth to experience for you too, and it's even free of charge and comes from the heart. Young and old.
As organism of humanity, we are really challenged to get along with each other. Perceiving, respecting and appreciating each other, regardless of whether we are young or a bit older, remains a great mystery of life. And we are now getting to the bottom of this mystery. Old people have usually forgotten that they have been young, or they forgot that they are old, and young people never realize that they can become old. The problem that Tucholsky addresses is obviously not just a phenomenon of our time. However, the isolation of old and young seems to have reached a peak. Despairingly, one shakes one's head at today's youth. After all, there are also numerous reasons for it, and everything was better in the past, wasn't it? It doesn't look much better the other way around. TikTok and Instagram usually have more influence on young people than their parents or grandparents. In my work, I see a lot of young people with dysfunctional family relationships. Nonetheless, we as humanity are challenged to somehow get along, and I'm even convinced that it's not just a matter of somehow getting along, but that the great secret lies in the mutual perception, respect and appreciation across all age differences. I asked a few of my friends from OCG what their experience was on this.
Yes. Can there be peace between young and old? I think so. And for me personally, the key is that we want to understand each other. Not to say, okay, there are two people, I'm younger and you're older, you understand the world differently than I do, but in everything, no matter to whom we speak, no matter what age group, what we might simply want to understand each other. First listen, have an open ear, and then listen to our heart, to our inner voice. What does it say about it? Or do I maybe get into an inner conflict? Then I can first rethink my own worldview, but that only comes about when you listen to each other and want to understand. And that's exactly the key for me. That's why I like to listen, and so peace can simply develop no matter what age we have, and that's really cool. Let's just listen to each other.
Usually you have friends in your own age group, and it's more difficult with older or younger ones. Especially between teenagers and adults, there's often tension. With us, it's completely different, and that's what I find so unique. Even at birthday parties, not only one age group is invited, but whole families come together. Although it is often said that old and young have very different interests and therefore it can't work at all, I experience that really all can have fun together. The same is true for our projects that we do together. There is no one who has more to say or who can decide all. Together we look at how we can best do the project. If someone has a problem, we help each other. This way we experience cross-generational peace in practice already. As a mother of 6 small children, I always find it interesting to discover that even the smallest one can give their parts in the big swarm. Exactly, and we don't just need the young generation, we also need the old generation very well. We too always enjoy and have fun being here and helping out.
I have a small room in my basement at home and manage the books, the brochures, and then pass them on.
And we also like to go out on the street and interview people.
And to draw attention to current world events.
Some say they'd be too old to learn new things. Alfred, for example, has learned to send emails. What do you send?
Yes, I send the latest KLA TV broadcasts by email. And I don't know if I don't know how to do it. I get my daughter-in-law to help me, and it works excellent.
Exactly, then it works. And also, if I need Alfred to take a photo, he comes and I can take the photo for the media archive. The photos can then be used again in broadcast. There are no limits to this synergy between young and old. For example, here you can see how the grandpa is tagging with 2 of our girls. Tagging means assigning keywords to pictures so that they are easier to find later when searching for the KLA TV programs. The children look at the picture and tell Grandpa what they see. But because they can't write yet, Grandpa types it into the computer for them. And this is also a good exercise for the children to learn patience and respect, because sometimes Grandpa is not so fast with his 2-finger typing, but they are grateful that he is doing this with them.
Yeah, hello, dear friends. I'm Johnny from Bavaria, and I personally like to spend time with older people and also appreciate very much that they can talk to us from experience, which also, if we respond to it, often saves us as younger people many detours. And I don't think that's the main focus of why it can work so well between the generations. I think the main reason is that, from my experience, when I talk to older people, I simply go into the situations with an open heart. And I think that this piece we are talking about here can then have an effect on us, simply naturally. And I think that's the key, this wide open heart, wanting to perceive each other. How is the other person doing? What needs does the other person have? Or what mood is he in at the moment? And the person opposite of me can be 80 years old or 18 years old. We just have a good time together because we are steered by the same piece. It's a lot of fun to experience this yourself in everyday life. It makes sense to pursue peace or simply have an open heart. Ciao, Johnny from Bavaria.
Even if it's not modern, I can really say it from the heart that my mom and dad are my best friends, and we have a beautiful relationship where we share things with each other, and I can just tell what moves me. Also, with our family and with a lot of friends, we can experience this peace and practice together in the foreign language team. When one person can't get ahead on his own, there's always a team solution. It's also so nice to feel this completion. A very practical example. If, for example, the older people don't get along so well with the PC and perhaps have difficulties there, then the younger people can support them. At the same time, the older ones can then help to reformulate the difficulties issues. We can learn to take responsibility, and even when corrections are made, not to take them personally or in any way negatively, but really to see it as a complementary part. But the most important thing is that everyone really enjoys it. We also make sure that we always talk to each other, tell each other how everyone is doing, and quickly work through any unrest. Afterwards, one can always feel how our hearts have been reconnected and how we have been united as a team. In this way, we can really experience the peace that everyone dreams of and practice, and also help to inspire other people to think about it.
Peace in marriage and family.
As a mother of 6, I made some experience when kids get adolescence. It wasn't so easy for us parents, but neither for the kids. There were many discussions, tensions, and emotional outbreaks, and also many restless nights, worries. But we experienced a big chance when we came into the OCG, my husband and I. When we learned to be and to live under this one common peace, a lot in our family changed. From then on, our own lives together as parents and kids worked much better, and often we experienced the peace of heaven on earth. Thanks, Angelika. You said, when we as a couple learned for ourselves to follow this common peace, everything changed. And how could this different look like? Maybe the following example. We have been married for 35 years. This is not to be taken for granted, because despite our great love for each other, there were heavy storms. Today somehow is a difficult day. A crackling tension is in the air, and constantly a negative atmosphere wants to come up. We both suffer from it, but we fail to succeed in restoring the peace. Suddenly, a familiar thought comes to my mind. Peace goes before having your right. Always when I adjust to this motto, the hand and the emotions are gone, and in my heart, peace develops again. Suddenly, I can act again and decide for a next step. I write 5 words on a piece of paper. Sorry. I am sorry for that. And stick it on the front door.
The truth is, after work I wanted to have a little distraction and not come home immediately. But by chance, I had a telephone call before in which a friend of mine encouraged me, and shared from my own experience that crises are a chance. Now, I had no excuses anymore. This crisis of mine is no exception too. It is a chance, my chance. I chose peace, bought a wonderful bouquet of flowers in her favorite color. Back at home, peace took over completely again. We spent the evening at a campfire outside in the garden. Our hearts warmed through the fire, as well as this indescribable common peace.
Yes, this peace is not fought out at the big round table in the first place, but at the lowest basis of society. At home, in the family, in one's own heart, where you live and are.
There we keep peace, because a healthy world consists of healthy families in everyday life who care for the health of the common whole. And this is what even the very little ones are capable of.
Even smallest children set new standards of peace in the OCG by living care and being there for one another. They show how to overcome the own ego that often goes wrong, how to recognize each other in everyday life, and how you live as one organism, how you can be thankful in the greatest everyday life, how you can find back to peace in your own little heart when peace has gone, how to come into peace with one's siblings, by oneself without help from outside, or to recognize oneself as a key person to peace. I can be a key person for the peace at home. When my brother and I both wanted to be the first on the loo and no one wanted to give in, peace wasn't there anymore. It wasn't nice. Then I remembered that I am a key person. When you have a fight, it's like with a lock. When I turn the key, it opens up. And when I turn my heart to the other person, the fight dissolves. Then I had my brother to go first, and the discord was solved right away. We loved each other again. This was so much fun, and my brother wanted to have me go first next time. And so we had a very good time together. Many similar experience from everyday life, giving insight into such new standards we share on OCG.live and in our new newsletter that comes every other month. In a time where true values disintegrate and in a time of division, you get insights into the growth of a new society full of peace and new values.
Production.
All over the country, teams meet regularly for productions, for example, newsletters, we all had already heard about that, to print and send them. But we not only do that, we also do surveys, compile and see yearbooks, or write to politicians and much more. Today, the newest book of Ivo Sasek, Victory of Glory, is being produced. Exciting? By the way, this book, as well as lots of other books, brochures, CDs and DVDs, are to be found here. Together it is so much more joy, and that's why guests are coming. I'll talk to a guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself? How did you get to know us?
My name is Salvatore and I found AZK on the internet. I wrote to them and they answered me. I should come and see, they said. I liked it so much from the beginning that I've been a regular participant since September of last year.
You even created a template for book production. How did you come up with the idea?
Well, I'm a tinkerer, and when I saw how it works, I immediately had an idea. You can work more efficiently and more accurately, and the process has increased.
Brilliant! And do you feel comfortable here?
From the beginning, I feel like I'm part of a big family and we work together. Not like outside where everyone fights each other. And I've noticed positive changes in myself. More self-confidence. Even the boss and my co-workers have noticed that I have much more self-confidence.
If that's not victory of glory.
Voluntary work.
Everything we have ever done with each other, produced, composed, printed, pressed, or otherwise made, has always been given away, shipped, and distributed for free for 46 years. It's an honor for us to do you something good, and it is really possible without money. Just like everything that we as OCG move and tackle together without asking for money, all we do is working together as volunteers.
Hi, I'm Felix. I made friends for life in the IT team at OCG, namely in programming for our various websites such as KLA TV. So, quasi while working, only that it doesn't feel like work with us. We all have great joy in our voluntary efforts and are proud to have learned so much through our voluntary work that many of us have become highly qualified for school and work. Of course, we also help each other with programming. I myself, for example, started with zero programming knowledge, and I was taught programming with a lot of heart and patience. Today, I in turn get to teach others how to program, which gives me a lot of pleasure. Tobias here is a real ace in all kinds of programming topics. Hey Toby, has working for the OCG website helped you professionally as well? Yes, I have been programming in the OCG since I was 14, and I was already able to do a lot before I started my computer science studies. Because I was able to learn so much in practice alongside my studies, I am now a software developer at a well-known IT company in Germany.
Through my volunteer work in the OCG, I have also benefit greatly in my private life. While working in the ministry, I became a bit of an organization talent. Working on the computers also helped me a lot. At school, for example, in the subject of computer science, I was always very bad at typing on the keyboard. At some point, I started helping type messages and got better and better. I even enjoyed it. Now, I'm one of the fastest typists wherever I go, and I've also benefited a lot from it at school.
We are a real team, where we always look that we all do well. That is the basis of our cooperation. We do the things where everyone has joy and strength. By the way, I would be happy to teach you programming as well. Local meetings.
From the testimonies, you sense that true accountability from the heart exists here. This deep awareness of the togetherness of all human beings which can be experienced live really is encouraging. Humanity is a living organism with so many most different organs who all appreciate, need, and complement each other.
If you also want to be part of this, visit a day where we go into practice. It's happening all over the place.
Peace and practice. We went to 2 local meetings in our area. Let's have a look what this means in practice. Yeah, I am so happy to be here today and that we do not only talk about peace but really experience it in practice. Yeah, this is really a joy to me because I want this at home with my kids, my family, and also with my town, with the people who surround me, my neighbors. I want to experience it there. You have a practice day today and have invited guests. You spoke a lot about swarm power and peace, and you have 3 leaders, 3 men. So maybe 3 opinions. Did it shake a bit beforehand?
No, it didn't. No, not at all. But we were starting now with practice. Maybe it will shake a bit then. But it's important we learned with time to speak about it in a sporty manner without about problems and unrest, not to make a drama about it. And when we all are ready to do so, it works quite well. So up to here, it did not shake yet. We watch where it gives us all an uplift and where it pulls us down. I am not a solo entertainer here. I lead the guests, all who work with us, and we watch where it flows together, where it drags us down, and then we stop and talk about it, and then we continue. But when you are, for example, doing such a work in practice, like a yearbook, then you suddenly feel the other person next to you on a completely different level, like how he behaves when something doesn't work. And then to practice, what does peace mean? This is a much deeper dimension for me, and to really stay with it at that point. And I believe this is what our world is lacking, being able to do something that is important for the common whole, for the whole world, and this needs to be trained in the little things.
What do I understand when I hear peace? First, I need the peace in myself. When I have it in me, I can be at peace with other people much more easily, even when they have different opinions.
First, I'd say non-violence, that people do not suppress others out of a power position. To perceive the other person, to take time to notice the priority, to realize peace is more important to me. How can I change the world when I tolerate that at home? But talking with each other helps the most, I think. We have always taken a sense to feel, is this good for all? What we are about to do? Do we all have joy with it? And peace with it? The willingness to let go of everything where I think I have the right to, and to really let the heart talk.
I take a lot of power home because here I meet people who are on the same path, and this strengthened me. In the afternoon, we drove even a few kilometers further. Young people and children came together to attend a training course for video cut. Often there are situations when you work in such a team. You want everyone to feel well, and that not only the leaders feel well of your people, but you really want every single one to be free at heart and glad to be here and to be happy. And when this is not the case, the secret is honesty. To train that also as young people or children is the main thing. When we are not honest, where then is peace? Then there is a division. Maybe you don't see it immediately, but you sense it, and then you are divided inside when you are not honest.
When we lie to each other, you feel bad. And then you end up in discord. But when we're all honest, then you sense more peace.
Peace, I understand, is when you have a fight. You solve it, or you live without a fight more and more often. That's even better. I think peace is very important because otherwise it will not work in the family. That you can do something together, spend some nice time together, or otherwise you just feel bad the whole time and you are alone. And when you feel bad, when peace is not there, then the others don't feel good either, because we are all connected. And that's why I noticed when you realize at home that one person isn't feeling well, then ask, communicate. So the other person is in peace again in life, and then we all feel well again. Then we feel God is there, and this person is in peace again, and you realize you are feeling better again too. Much, much better. And I believe it is possible. It is this peace who reigns in all of us, and this peace is always possible. And when it's not there, we simply feel bad. We feel the difference more and more when you pay attention to it. It is so glorious simply to have this peace. Whoever has learned to live peace in his own life and then in the community also has power to tackle it in the bigger picture. Therefore, we as a whole organism expose the people who want to blunt the world into chaos and absolutely don't bring the world peace. We do this via the Hand Express newspaper VNC, through ACK, Wikipedia, and first and foremost through KLATV. Manuel, from the investigative journalist team, does this with a big team.
Investigativ. Hi, we're here at the entrance of a Freemason lodge here in Austria. With KLATV, we're trying to investigate whether behind all these wars, behind the climate dictatorship, the corona and vaccination dictatorship, are bigger masterminds who steer and control the events from the background. Most surprising connections come to light. We noticed that the big platforms and the fee-based media rely on professional people and need a lot of money for such research projects. We rely on God and observe that the greatest and most decisive findings come from so-called laymen. Exactly those who do not know how to do it find the most decisive facts. Here, just a few examples speaking of such findings.
Hi, Manuel. Here the evidence that the British monarchy is right at the top of international freemasonry. Greetings, Kerstin. This finding can be seen in the King Charles file.
Dear Manuel, these facts prove that the family Gates has been working for generations on population reduction. Yours, Werner. Broadcast is following.
Hi, Manuel. We found a hot trace with the questions who generates income from wars. Soon to be aired on KLATV.
With all this research, we realized not to judge with our reasonings, but by peace. With all this information, this is very decisive. Our facts and findings are constantly being published on KLATV, with one huge advantage, that we can submit them to all of humanity free of charge. Be part of it. Watch the great broadcasts on KLATV, and we stay tuned. Ciao!
Meanwhile, the OCG is organically working in over 200 countries and 25 languages and has signaled clear signs of connecting people as early as 2016.
No war. Never again war. No war. Never again war. Never again war. We love each other. We love each other.
2018, people of hostile nations stood on the street. This action was unbelievable. 80% of the allegedly hostile side said it had long been time and hugged each other.
Entsteht Kraft in mir und sie fließt zu dir. Wenn das Herz entscheidet, auch wenn die Logik leidet, liegen wir uns in den Armen und wir lieben uns. Wenn das Herz schlägt und der Verstand vergeht, entsteht Kraft in mir und sie fließt zu dir. Wenn das Herz entscheidet, auch wenn die Logik leidet, liegen wir uns in den Armen und wir lieben uns. Du hast eine andere Religion, im Herzen eine Mission, dass diese Welt Frieden sieht, Herzenliebe wieder siegt. Ich geb dir meine Hand, lass uns zusammengehen, durch Wind und Sturm, lass uns zusammenstehen. Wenn das Herz schlägt und der Verstand vergeht, entsteht Kraft in mir und sie fließt zu dir. Wenn das Herz entscheidet, auch wenn die Logik leidet, liegen wir uns in den Armen und wir lieben uns. Wenn das Herz schlägt.
Und nun, einige Jahre später,
Despite of this, 8 years later, we in Europe are at war, but there are steadfast pillars worldwide who have united in peace since 2022 despite dividing attacks.
Prayer fusion. Are there still wonders on this earth? We can say it with certainty, yes. Because we, Russia, Moldavia, Kyrgyzstan, Poland, Lithuania and Latvia, experience them as international body of God. Our countries have been divided politically, but God does his good works. He shows us the way, he works wonders, and so we unite his people in a common prayer, overcoming all prejudices. There are no language barriers, no differences concerning time and age, for love has no boundaries.
Dear God, we see the world divided, entangled in strife and war. Whole nations cannot unite anymore to find a way out of the situation. We turn our eyes from this wrong picture that is enforced upon us now and look to you.
And we know and believe that you created us as one body, as your organism, in which everyone can find his place and complement the others with their gifts and talents. We are not separated through our different languages, nationalities and worldviews. Before God, I do not let myself be forced to hate my brother people. We are one organism. We are your body, and death and separation has no place anymore in this world.
And we are one in you. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
As this prayer team is practicing it, true peace, although this is proclaimed and longed for everywhere, is never the result of a one battle. It is only to be won through unity of hearts, peace in me and in you, in us. Where we as humanity organism have accepted and learned to live accountable to this peace, more exactly to this godly guidance of peace, their common peace will be experienced. Peace is no human wishful dream. Peace is the heavenly guidance, organ of God through which God with his effective power guides all humanity. Like Gandhi says, there is no road towards peace. Peace is the road. Do you, in whatever way, want to come on this path with us? Then tell your contact person or us. Let's together as one human organism change the world for the good. For we are convinced of our organic world. This is what will come and must come and is coming. so that the world will be flooded with people who flow together in peace and love.
Peace begins in me. Peace that is God in me.